Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen. Guys, bringing you this extra video today, obviously on what is match day. Rangers facing Hearts tonight at Ibrox under lights. Going to be a cracking atmosphere. Also, it's going to be an emotional atmosphere as we say goodbye to a number of players who have contributed a lot to Rangers over their careers. This morning, club tweeted out a number of important bits of information, guys. Let's get those out of the way first. First things first, ahead of tonight's game, the club have asked that please stay in your seats at full time at Ibrox as we pay tribute to the departing Alan McGregor, Alfredo Morelos, Ryan Kent, Scott Arfield, and Philip Helander. They tweeted it out about 24 minutes ago. It's obviously now about 11 o'clock here. I'm recording this video. The other bit of important news, obviously, just tweeted out as regards Alan McGregor. Rangers are today pleased to confirm ticketing details for the At The Real Griggs's One's testimonial game against Newcastle United on Tuesday, the 18th of July. And there's a link to click on to find out that information. So let's all get behind that and go and support Alan in his testimonial and say goodbye to him in the proper way that he deserves. Well, it's interesting, guys. Tonight, there is rumours of a new signing being unveiled, and Michael Beale's pretty much confirmed that. Now, it is thought that new signing will be this man, Kieran Dowell, formerly of Norwich City. Now, why do people think it will be Kieran Dowell, formerly of Norwich City? Well, the reason why is because the fact Kieran Dowell is now out of contract. He is, according to Transfer Market, without a club. So therefore, that deal can be made official, as even though the transfer window is not yet open, because the player is technically a free agent, he can be acquired at this point. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to talk a little bit about just some general bits and pieces. Then we're going to talk about his different stops on his career, just to sort of bring you up to speed as much as possible with Kieran Dowell ahead of, hopefully, it's going to be him unveiled tonight, and we can find out a little bit more information about him. What I do know is a lot of Norwich City fans have actually more gutted about the loss of Dowell than they were about the loss of Cantwell, and we know how fantastic Todd Cantwell has been for the team. So really positive there. About that. Now, let's have a little bit of look at Kieran Dowell. So he's Kieran O'Neill Dowell, born on the 10th of October 1997. He's 25 years old. He's from Ormskirk in England. He's 6'1". His primary position is an attacking midfielder, but I'm going to talk a little bit about where else he can play shortly, so hang on for that. He's not with a team at this moment in time, even though it does say Norwich City on a number of his profiles. His youth career was at Everton, where he was between 2005 and 2014. In terms of his senior career, he started at Everton, made 2 appearances for Everton before going on loan to Nottingham Forest, where he made 38 appearances, scoring 9 goals. He then went on loan in 2019 to Sheffield United, making 16 appearances and scoring 2 goals, before a loan spell at Derby County, where he didn't score but did play 10 times for them. I mean, what was a very poor Derby County team. Then in 2020, he went to Wigan, where he made 12 appearances, scored 5 goals, pretty good goals to games ratio there for Wigan. And then in 2020, he joined Norwich, where he made 65 appearances, scoring 11 goals. He has also represented England at a number of youth levels, under 16s, under 17s, under 18s, under 20s, under 21s. We look at the 21s because obviously that is the next most senior after international football. He's made 17 appearances for them, scoring 2 goals. Never went on, obviously, to represent the full national team. But, given the standards, obviously, standards of players at that position for England, it is exceptionally hard to break into the team. And obviously, the fact that Dowell, has moved around a few clubs and also was injured this season, obviously, would go against him. And the fact that playing in the Championship, you really do need to play in the Premier League if you are going to represent your national team in terms of England. Where can he play? Now, this is the key thing. Now, a lot of people think, obviously, we've got Todd Cantwell, we've got Yanis Hadji. What do we need another attacking midfield player for? But as we can see here, Dowell is not purely an attacking midfield player. Yes, that is his main position, but he can also play on the right of midfield, and he can also play in a central midfield position. So it could be a situation where we have Raskin, Dowell, and Cantwell, or Raskin, Dowell, and Jack, with Cantwell pushed further forward, or he could go on the right-hand side of an attacking 3. He can play in a number of different positions. And Michael Beale, did talk about the fact that he very much wants to have players coming into the squad that can play in a number of different positions, that have good position flexibility. And obviously, given the fact that, like he said in his interview yesterday at the press conference, that he wants to have that slightly smaller squad so that players feel closer to the first team, having players who can play in a number of positions does obviously help if you get injuries. And obviously, Rangers have been cursed particularly badly this season with injuries. In terms of Kieran Dowell's stats for this season, He's made 23 appearances for Norwich in the Championship, scoring 5 goals and 3 assists, so 8 goal contributions across 23 games. Played over 1,000 minutes of football for Norwich this season. Made 1 FA Cup appearance where he was on for 33 minutes, went off injured in that game, and played 1 EFL Trophy EFL Cup games for 63 minutes in that game. So in total this season, Dowell has had 25 appearances for Norwich, 8 goal contributions, breaking down as 5 goals, 3 assists. And has played for over 1,000 minutes for Norwich this season, despite the fact he has been out with an injury, which I know has concerned certain Rangers fans. So obviously, as we know, Kieran Dowell began his career at Everton. Apparently, he signed for Everton to their academy at the age of only 7. He progressed through the ranks. He got a scholarship with the club in 2014. He scored in a friendly for Everton under 21 side in his first appearance for them. He made his debut for the club on the 11th of December 2014, replacing an injured Christian Atsu for 11 minutes of a UEFA Europa League game for Everton against FC Krasnodar at that's not hard to say, guys. Well, it is hard to say. At Goodison Park. Everton had already advanced into the next round. They lost 1-0. This was one of his only first-team appearances that season. In 2015-2016, he did suffer an ankle injury that saw him sidelined for 2 months, and he scored on his return for Everton under-21s in a 3-1 win over Liverpool under-21s. A lot of football that season for the under-21s and under-23s. On the 30th of April, he made his Premier League debut, however, as a substitute for Ross Barkley in a 2-1 home win over Bournemouth. 2 months after making his Premier League debut, Dowell signed a 3-year contract with the club, keeping him under contract with Everton until 2019. He was also a member of the Everton under-23 squad that won the inaugural Premier League 2 trophy as well, making 22 appearances and scoring 5 times. In 2017, he went on loan to Nottingham Forest. His debut there came as a second-half sub against Millwall in a 1-0 win, and he scored his first goal for Forest in a 4-3 win over now Premier League Brentford in 2017. Obviously, then he returned to Everton after he fell out of favour under the new manager. Forest changed managers during that season, and he was brought in as a loan player under the previous manager. In December 2018, he announced it would join Sheffield United as of the January transfer window, and played out the rest of the season for Sheffield United, and was part of the Sheffield United team that got promoted to the Premier League that year. In July 2019, he joined Derby, and then obviously that was unsuccessful due to obviously Derby's financial problems and other issues they had around the club. He then went to Wigan in 2020. So at Wigan, it was a case where Everton cancelled his Derby loan, I think due to financial problems at Derby. He then went on loan to Wigan for the remainder of the 2020 season, 19-20 season. On the 14th of July 2020, Dowell scored a hat-trick as Wigan defeated Hull by a scoreline of 8-0, which was the biggest in the club's history. Dowell was then transferred to Championship club Norwich on a 3-year deal and made his debut for Norwich in a 3-1 EFL Cup defeat to Luton Town. On the 1st of May 2021, Dowell scored twice for Norwich as they beat Reading 4-1 to secure the Championship title, getting them back to the Premier League. Dowell scored his first Premier League goal for Norwich City in a 3-2 loss to Manchester United. He also registered assists that day to teammate Teemu Pukki. As you can see, Dowell has been part of teams that have been progressing from the Championship, have got into the Premier League. And despite the fact that obviously he is, considered a Championship football at this stage, he has played Premier League football, for Norwich and for Sheffield United. So that is something that does go in his favour. The fact that he has played the very highest level of English football. The fact that he's coming here on a free as well, it's kind of like a free hit as well, isn't it? The fact that, he's 25 years old, it could be 2-3 years time. He may be worth a little bit more money, and using the player trading model may well be sold on. So guys, that is pretty much as much information as I have for now on Kieran Dowell. I personally think it's going to be a good move. I think it's adding good quality and good experience to that midfield, something we need if we're going to obviously make a serious bid next season in the Champions League, in Scotland for the title, for the 2 cups, and to really push that lot from across the city back into their rightful places as second team in the city. Well, guys, let me know what you think of Kieran Dowell. If you're going to the game tonight, obviously let me know as well. Be great to hear from you. Thank you so much again for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you here on the channel. And if you want your team every single day, hit that sub, ring that notification bell. If you set your notifications to all, you'll never miss out on all the live videos, on the games, on the podcasts, like the one coming up on Thursday with myself and Victoria, when we will talk about the Hearts game and our 5 departing players, as well as, of course, the live game stream tonight as Rangers take on Hearts under the lights at Ibrox. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back to speak to you again here really soon on the channel. We are the people.